Maz, whenever
Sure,
you're good, go for it.
Set out the last game, what was that like? And then obviously take us to now you're eligible to play.
Yeah, it wasn't as fun. Definitely wish I could be out there, but good that we got a win. And I mean, it was a little good to get different perspective. I've been playing a lot so far, so I definitely didn't like sitting out, but it was a different perspective. I got to take a step back and watch the game from a different viewpoint. So
From that different perspective, because you are kind of calling some of the line. What did you notice? I mean, what's working for you all in terms of that high line and obviously the shutouts?
yeah, I think covering each other is a lot of, whenever someone steps in the back line, everyone else covers for them, and we're doing a good job of winning that first battle. But if we don't, then there's 3 or 4 other guys that are right there to clean it up.
And then just in terms of the overlap, you've got the young guns, for lack of a better word. They're playing on the right side. Is there any? How do you think they're progressing? Obviously, it's good, but how are they progressing? And I mean, Vargas playing up top there.
Yeah, he's doing great. I think for young guys, especially, it's just about consistency. He has all the talent in the world, but can he prove that every game? I think he's doing a better job of bringing it every time, because that's ultimately what he has to work on. Because the talent's there. It's just, can he do it day in and day out?
Are you guys? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Are you guys? Have you put in you play from the back, but it looks like more times now you also have put in kind of the play to where you're kicking it, not just downfield, but certain, when teams are pressing. Is that now part of your arsenal to get the ball out of the back there?
For sure. We got to mix it up, because if we only play short, then they're only going to step with everything. So if they're coming, then we just dump it over the top, and then next time they won't be able to do that. They'll be a little more hesitant, and then there might be more spaces to play in between.
You're a guy that sees the moment, and you took that starting position from Javier Arriaga. When you sit and you watch like ABC Soccer playing, does anything go through your mind in terms of like, hey man, I'm the starter, there's healthy competition? How does that go about in your mind?
Yeah, that's a good question. I thought he did a great job. I'm rooting for him to do well, and ultimately, because he did so well, I do feel a little more pressure about my starting spot, but I think it is a good thing, because then I have to step my level up even more, and that'll only make me a better player in the end. So
after the game, he talks about, I need more minutes, I need more play time. How do you take that when a guy, he has a good game, and then he also words it out vocally, to the press instead? You guys kind of talk about that, laugh about it. How does that work?
I didn't see, but I think, he's a great player, so he does deserve to play in the MLS. But I think it's hard when Yamar and I had a great relationship this year, and a lot of shutouts. So it's tough to break into any lineup. I know that from last year, so it takes a lot of time and patience.
Is that a mature thing? Because every player wants to start. So clearly some players saying, hey, I want to see more minutes. That's not detrimental to the team as much as it's just about, hey, you know what, coach, when you get a chance, this is what I can do. Is that what that's about?
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, you're right. I think every player is thinking that all the time. They just want to play and help the team.
You as the enforcer, that you're making it nice for you all the time. But how much have you? Are you more calculating now, right? In terms of, like when you have to make that play, the maturity of let me go cover the space as opposed to the foul and things like that. In this year, as you've seen more time, how much have you better at, or how much are you more calculating as opposed to just taking the guy out?
Yeah, I think it just comes with experience, and seeing those moments over and over again, because they come up probably like 10 to 15 times in a game for me, and making the correct decision and then executing. It's funny because in the Orlando game, I was trying not to get a yellow, really, and I was pretty pissed when he ended up giving one. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you can just get unfortunate as well.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say you just clatter players, but the expectation of once the back line gets the ball, right? There's an expectation to possess it and move it up. So the transition is part of what the expectation for you guys, correct?
Yeah, right when we win it back, we want to play forward right away because that's when the opponent is most expansive, and then we can play through them. But if not, it's also, I mean, we can be patient and then try to break them down again.
Vancouver has some really good moments this season. They're a really good counter team. What do you expect in terms of your role and what you're going to get from this Vancouver squad?
Yeah, they're a good team. I think you said it, high pressure and transition is their game. So being able to play through them, and then when we have the ball up in their end, active defending from myself and the other defenders so that they can't transition pretty easy.
Robbie Gould seems to be a guy that really has a lot of freedom and moves a lot, around a lot. How do you take consideration for a guy that does that much moving in the attacking third?
Yeah, we'll have to keep track of him, and I'll have to, if he comes closer to me, it'll be me. If he's closer to Zhao or Obed or whoever, then it'll still be on me to communicate and have them pick him up.